To the regularly scheduled public meeting of May 17th, 2021 of the Township of Washington Township Council. Adequate notice of the meeting was given in accordance with the Open Public Meeting Act by the Township Clerk to at least 2 newspapers in January, and this meeting has been posted on the Township Bulletin Board, electronic message board, WCTV, and on the Township website. Salute to the flag.
Pledge allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Do roll call.
Councilman Casio.
Present.
Councilman DeSena.
Here.
Councilwoman Morgan.
Here.
Councilman Sears.
Here.
Council President Feeney.
Here. Let the record also reflect in attendance Mayor Calamari, Township Administrator Toto, Township Attorney Power, and Township Clerk Wachowski. Approval of minutes, March 15, 20.
PSA.
Oh, sorry, PSA. Here we go. Vaccines available. PSA for May 17, 2021. The Johnson & Johnson single-shot vaccine is now available. No appointment required at Bergen Newbridge Medical Center, Alternate Care Facility Annex, located at 230 East Ridgewood Avenue, Paramus. Please note the county site is for individuals who live, work, or study in Bergen County. Please visit our website for Bergen County mobile testing and vaccine sites. Voting at the library. June 8th primary. Attention districts 1, 3, and 5. Please note there will be no more voting at the library. All voting will be held at the municipal building, which is 350 Hudson Avenue, Districts 1 and 5 in the courtroom, District 3 in the senior room. Please note your district number room on your sample ballot. Remember to vote on primary day, June 8, 2021, from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. Again, there will be no voting at the library. 2021 dog license renewals. Final notices have gone out. The Township Animal Control Officer will be issuing summonses in the week of May 24th to those who have not registered their pets for 2021. Green Team news. The Lincoln Park waterway cleanup has now been concluded. The project was successful. May 24th is the Clarkfield cleanup and flower planting has been approved.
Council President, that's May the 22nd.
Oh, it's May the 22nd? Okay.
Yeah, that's Saturday.
Okay, so May 22nd, Saturday, there will be Clarkfield cleanup and flower planting. What, Councilman Sears, do you know what time?
From 9 until 12.
From 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Okay, we'll update the website. Sue, can you send an email making sure that the website is updated accordingly?
Yep.
Thank you. Memorial Day Parade, May 31st, beginning at 10 a.m. We are looking for vehicles to drive our veterans individually along the parade route. Anyone able to help may contact our Public Affairs Department. Kitty recalls. True Sense smoke and combination smoke carbon monoxide alarms made by Kitty due to the risk of failure, or we're alerting consumers to a fire. Please visit our website for further information. I'm assuming this is a recall for Kitty smoke detectors. They're called True Sense Smoke and Combination Smoke Carbon Monoxide Detectors. PSE&G gas meter inspection notice. Be on the lookout. Public service electric and gas will be in the township starting Monday, May 10th, and for approximately the next 4 or more weeks performing gas meter safety inspections of all township residents. American flag distribution. VFW Post 1692 will be distributing American flags on Tuesday, May 25th from 3 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. at the new Veterans Monument located by the library. Noise ordinance.
Excuse me, Council President, that's VFW Post 6192.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Councilman Sears.
You're welcome.
6192. Okay, thank you. Sorry. Okay.
Okay, that one's not right on the website. We'll change that one.
Okay. Again, at the VFW Post, we'll be distributing 6192. We'll be distributing American flags on Tuesday, May 25th from 3 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. at the new Veterans Monument located by the Township Library. Noise ordinances. As the weather becomes nicer and we spend more time outside, please be considerate of your neighbors. To view Township code pertaining to all noise, please see the website. That's it. Approval of minutes, March 15th, 2021, public meeting, conference, budget meeting, capital. March 25th, 2021, special public meeting budget. April 5th, 2021, public meeting, conference, budget meeting, DPW. May I have a motion?
I'll motion.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Second.
Aye.
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 Mike, you're on mute.
Abstain, I wasn't at one of those meetings, so I didn't have a chance to review it.
Do you know which one you weren't at, so then you could vote on the other
April
two?
5th The April 5th meeting.
I'm sorry, Mike, could you just say that one more time?
The April 5th meeting.
Okay, so then let's vote on March 15th, 2021 and March 25th, 2021. May I have a motion?
I'll motion.
I'll second. All in favor of March 15th and March 25th?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, and we'll have a vote for April 5th. May I have a motion?
I'll motion.
A second.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
No.
Are
Thank
you going to
you.
abstain?
Aye.
Okay, just to make it legit. Okay. General public comment. To participate in the general public comment portion of the meeting, please click on the link below to join the webinar. Star 9 to raise your hand, star 6 to unmute. You will be asked to state your name and address for the record, and we will ask that only one person speak at a time. There is a 5-minute limit per caller. Please note that this is public comment, and comments by the council, mayor, administrator will be at the end of the public comment section. At the end, no more calls will be accepted. Again, there's a 5-minute time limit. Okay. May I have a motion to open public comment?
So
So
moved.
moved.
Second,
Second.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Okay, we have Ms. Ferrara.
Good evening, Mrs. Ferrara.
Good evening. You can hear me?
Yes, how are you?
Good, good. How are you doing?
Good, thank you.
Good. I had sent an email to the mayor and council a couple of weeks ago and just wanted to follow up on the status of the appraisal.
Excuse me,
Also-
Ms. Ferrara, could you just state your address for the record, please?
Certainly. Diane Ferrara, 743 Amherst Drive in the Township, Washington.
Thank you.
So I'm just following up on that, just because there's a lot going on with news articles on it. So I just want to be sure the public has the full perspective on it. There's been some articles covering some of the extravagant proposals being offered by the developer for that property. And I know that we have Mr. Pollard's assurances that the appraisal will be done in accord with the zoning law and the constraints, the property lot size constraints and so on and so forth. So I just wanted to circle back on that to be sure that some of the things that he's proposing, it's clear for the public that none of these have been approved. And I've also continued to do research, speaking with a lot of people who have land use background, zoning looks, expertise, and so on. And they continue to assure me, as Mr. Pollard has also assured us, that the appraisal can only be done in accord with the property condition as is, a house near condemnation, and a lot size that would not permit subdivision with access roads to the rear of the property for additional buildings and so forth. So I'm stating this again because I think the public needs to be aware of the factors that are in the balance. Also, this is the legacy of the council and the mayor. It's really not an expenditure, it's an investment in our town. It's an investment in the character of our town, the protection of that, a buffer between homes and the school, drainage and environmental concerns there, and so forth. So coming back again, I don't know if there's been an update on where we stand with the appraisal, but based on facts, there's no reason why the town should pay or be constrained to pay anything more than an as-is appraisal. I understand that there'll be some negotiation with Mr. Morris so that we feel that we're making a fair offer. But at the same time, the proposals that the developer is presenting in the news are a far cry from what a fair appraisal would be. So I just wanted to restate what I've already stated in some emails. So again, it's a matter of a legacy to the future of our children, the character of our town, the people who invested in their real estate properties here. So if there is any more information on where we stand with that and what the next steps would be, I would appreciate that, as well as some others who I know some others indicated they would be calling in as well. So I want to thank all of you for the efforts that you're making, for the time and the extent that you've gone in having this appraisal done in a very comprehensive and legally defensible manner. So I want to thank you for that.
Thank you, Mrs. Farrar. Thank you for calling in. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Udina?
Hello, can you hear me?
Hi, yes, Mr. Udina, how are you this evening?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Just state your name and address for the record, please.
Thank you. Anthony Udina, 876 Ridgewood Boulevard East.
What can we do for you this evening, Mr. Udina?
Just like Mrs. Farrar said, I just wanted to know if there was any update on the 450 Pascack Road property, and also to voice my support for the preservation of the wooded area of that whole entire piece of land that separates the residences from, Washington School and also Memorial Field, and provides that buffer. So any update on that would be wonderful. Also, I know in the last meeting, Council President Feeney, you mentioned something about looking into the council meetings being in person. So if there's any update on that, that would be great. And that is it. I hope everybody has a good evening, and take care. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Udina, for calling in. Have a good evening.
Thanks.
Is there anyone else that would like to speak? Good evening, Mrs. Lipnick. How are you?
Oh, I'm just fine. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Could you just state your name and address for the record, please?
Certainly. Julianne Lipnick, 184 Finnerty Place, Washington Township.
Thank you. What can we do for you this evening?
I was just following up to my question 2 weeks ago if the council and administration had given any thought to that fundraiser regarding the books. And our other is actually another thank you, and that is to our police. All of you are well aware of the noise levels we deal with trucks coming in earlier, but the police have done their due diligence, and they put a patrol car out there apparently at 6 a.m. in the morning, and whatever other action they have taken, the trucks do not come in early anymore. A lot of the trucks are used in the back loading docks. So the noise is minimal at this point. We are both able to get sound night's sleep. And I'll be very honest, I've been home for a little while, and being able to sleep late in the morning as I recoup has been a gift like you can't imagine. So I just wanted to thank Police Chief Skinner and the men and women of the police force. Thank you very, very much for everything you've done there. And that is it.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Lipnick. Glad to hear that got resolved for you.
Yes, thank you. Have a wonderful evening.
You too.
I do not see anyone else.
Motion to close public comment portion.
So move.
Second.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Mr. Power, would you like to take 450 Pascack?
Yes, let me update Mrs. Ferrara, Mr. Udina, and the public, and you as well. Yes, we're all in agreement that the appraisal is an appraisal, as is the property, as the property is right now, zoned as it is right now, physically characterized as it is right now. And so that's the basis of the appraisal. Now, the appraisal, in addition to the appraisal, there are other things that I'm doing which go into the concept of what this property is actually worth in terms of acquisition. So in addition to limitations of zoning and physical characteristics and frontage and area and a whole bunch of other things, I had a title search ordered. Want to make sure that there are no easements, encumbrances, gores, or other issues that are that affect the property. Want to make sure if there's a wetlands issue, I'm doing a wetland search, a tideland search. Also doing an environmental inquiry to find out if there are any environmental issues surrounding the property or of record involving the property, which might impact value. All of these things go to value. Now, those things would be incorporated generally in an appraisal, but I'm sure you understand that appraisers generally don't do all of these other things. So I have been in contact with the appraiser, and as I get these things in, I provide the documentation to him. His report reserved on these issues to incorporate what is found as they affect value or as they don't affect value, whichever the case may be. And ultimately, the idea is to get a real sense of what the fair market value is. There are several approaches to valuation of real estate, comparable sales, income approach. There's several, and I've worked with the appraiser on that. So the bottom line is that we are getting close to having a final appraisal. I can tell you now that nobody's seen an appraisal, so there is no document per se that is final to go out. I gather there are articles around it and innuendos and conjecture, but I'm telling you exactly where we are at what stage of the game. Once the final appraisal is done, just so everybody's aware of it, I will then have a conference with the council in closed session to discuss the value of the property and to discuss the options on the property and to start the process of where we start negotiating for the acquisition of the property. And I hope everybody understands that, and I said it before, and I'll try and say it again, that it's not in the town's interest to discuss everything that is thought about publicly, because obviously it's a negotiation to start with and a condemnation if we can't acquire it amicably, which we will try to do. But ultimately, there will be a time period where the information of what the status of negotiations and such will not be a public matter. That's to protect the town and the taxpayers. I'm sure nobody wants public discussion of things I've mentioned before that go into the negotiation process. So I'm trying to give you as much information as I can. As I said, we're getting closer to getting the final appraisal. And Mrs. Ferrara, the information you're getting from other people is correct. At least I agree with it. And I think that's about it as far as I'm concerned. Stacy, you're on mute. Stacy, you're on mute.
Mr. Bauer, would the mayor or the administration like to comment on any of the callers?
I will keep it very brief. Yeah, I agree with everything Mrs. Ferrara said. She said all the points very well on that piece of property. And Ken, thank you for the extensive update on it. And regarding Mrs. Lipnick and the book thing, the library board is meeting tomorrow night. Unfortunately, I cannot attend that meeting, but I will be speaking with the library director tomorrow about some of the things at the meeting, and I'm going to ask her to bring this up as a topic to see how they can assist us. And yeah, also want to give a shout out to the police department for helping out with that situation. I understand that Councilwoman Feeney also had something to do with that. So thank you, Councilwoman.
You're welcome. Thank you. Mr. Chobo, do you have anything to add?
No, ma'am, nothing further.
I think everything was pretty much said. Glad to hear 450 is going in the right direction and that the mayor's going to talk to the librarian about the book.
Stacy, you're fading in and out.
I'm sorry. I know my connection just went out. Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. Again, I'm glad the library is going to work on the charity with the books. I think that's a great thing. So my connection's a little bit poor. Vice President Morgan?
I have nothing to add.
Councilman Casio?
Nothing to add this time. Thank you.
You're welcome. Councilman DeSena?
Nothing to add. Thank you.
Okay. Councilman Sears?
Nothing to add.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Moving on. Okay, ordinance. Adoption, second reading. Ordinance number 21-08, an ordinance restricting the sale of marijuana and related products within the Township of Washington. Resolution number 21-210, authorizing second reading and opening of the public hearing for ordinance 21-08. I'll make a motion. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Sue, roll call.
Councilman Casio,
Yes.
Councilman DeSena,
Yes.
Councilwoman Morgan,
Yes.
Councilman Sears,
Yes.
Council President Feeney.
Yes. Please click the link below to participate in the public hearing. Would anybody like to speak regarding ordinance number 21-08? Okay, is there anyone on the line? Did anybody call in by chance?
I don't see anybody.
No, and I don't hear anybody. So I'm gonna motion to close public hearing for ordinance 21-08. May I have a motion?
So move.
Second, please.
Second.
Sue, roll call.
Councilman Casio,
Second.
Councilman DeSena,
Yes.
Yes.
Councilwoman Morgan,
Yes.
Councilman Sears,
Yes.
Council President Feeney.
Yes. Okay, so the next one, I'm going to motion for the ordinance and then we'll first and a second, and then we can discuss if you want it, just so everybody's clear. Motion to adopt ordinance number 21-08 at second reading by title. I'll make a motion. May I have a second, please?
I'll second.
Do we need to have discussion? Sue, roll call.
Councilman Casio,
Yes.
Councilman DeSena,
Yes.
Councilwoman Morgan,
Yes.
Councilman Sears,
Yes.
Council President Feeney.
Yes. Ordinance number 21-09, bond ordinance appropriating $1,910,000 and authorizing the issuance of $1,818,000 bonds for various improvements or the purposes authorized to be undertaken by the Township of Washington in the County of Bergen, New Jersey. Resolution number 21-211, authorizing second reading and opening a public hearing for ordinance 21-09. I'll make a motion. May I have a second, please?
I'll second.
Sue, roll call.
Councilman Casio,
Yes.
Councilman DeSena,
Yes.
Councilwoman Morgan,
Yes.
Councilman Sears,
Yes.
Council President Feeney.
Yes, please click the link below to participate in the public hearing. Is also, if there's anyone on the line, please let us know. Okay, I don't see anyone. Motion to close public hearing for ordinance 21-09.
So moved.
So move.
Second,
I'll second.
Sue, roll call.
Second. First calls on me here, so gonna get this. Councilman Casio,
Yes.
Councilman DeSena,
Yes.
Councilwoman Morgan,
Yes.
Councilman Sears,
Yes.
Council President Feeney.
Yes. Same thing as before. Motion to adopt ordinance 21-09 at second reading by title. I'll make a motion. May I have a second, please?
Second.
Do we want to have discussion?
Yes, Council President Feeney. I'm more than happy to have provided the $76,000 for the exhaust system at the firehouse under this new $1.91 million in bonds that we're going out for. But in the future, I think we need to do a better job to be able to find that money in the budget and not bond that. It's something we need for them. And, to be bonding this kind, $76,000 items and stuff, we need to be able to find that stuff in our budget. Thank you.
Anyone else have any discussion points?
At this time.
Okay. Sue, roll call.
Councilman Casio,
Yes.
Councilman DeSena,
Yes.
Councilwoman Morgan,
Yes.
Councilman Sears,
Yes.
Council President Feeney.
Yes. Ordinance number 21-10, an ordinance providing for the improvement of Ridgewood Road, Hudson Avenue, and Bridge Street in and by the Township of Washington in the County of Bergen, New Jersey, and appropriating $410,000 thereof, constituting proceeds of grants from the New Jersey Department of Transportation. Resolution number 21-212, authorizing second reading and opening a public hearing for ordinance 21-10. I'll make a motion. May I have a second, please?
Second.
Sue, roll call.
Councilman Casio,
Yes.
Councilman DeSena,
Yes.
Councilwoman Morgan,
Yes.
Councilman Sears,
Yes.
Council President Feeney.
Yes. Sorry. Okay, please click the link below to participate in the public hearing. Sorry. Or if anybody's on the line, please let us know. Okay, I don't see anybody. Sue, do you?
No, I do not.
Okay, motion to close public hearing for ordinance 21-10.
So
Have a
moved.
second, please.
Second.
Okay, motion, Sue, roll call.
Councilman Casio,
Yes.
Councilman DeSena,
Yes.
Councilwoman Morgan,
Yes.
Councilman Sears,
Yes.
Council President Feeney.
Yes. Motion to adopt ordinance number 21-10 at second reading by title. I'll make a motion. May I have a second, please?
Second.
Do we need to have discussion? Does anybody want to have discussion? Sue, roll call.
Councilman Casio,
No. I'm sorry. Yes.
Councilman
I
DeSena,
thought you were talking about discussion.
Yes.
Councilwoman Morgan,
Yes.
Councilman Sears,
Yes.
Council President Feeney.
Yes. Is my connection bad?
No, it's okay.
Right now, you're fine.
You're good
Okay.
now.
I just want to make sure you guys are hearing me. So if I'm not, if I'm missing a section, okay.
Loud and clear.
Okay, good. Okay. Just making sure. Resolutions and consent agenda. The following items have been determined to have unanimous consent of council and will be enacted in one motion. Should any item require independent consideration, any council member may have such item removed from the consent agenda. Does anyone want to have any of the below items removed for consent agenda?
Can I have
Yes.
209, 214, and 215 removed, Mrs. Feeney?
Resolution number 21-21. Anybody else want any other ones removed? Okay. Resolution number
No.
21-213, authorized payment of bills April 29th, 2021 through May 12th, 2021. Resolution number 21-216, authorized refund of engineering escrows block 4407, lot 55, 354 Beach Street in the amount not to exceed $1,000. Resolution number 21-217, authorized solid waste service agreement with VCUA years June 1st, 2021 through May 31st, 2023. Resolution number 21-218, authorized approval of CSH Pascack LLC Treatment Works application block 2202, lot 1, 620 Pascack Road. Motion to approve consent agenda resolutions. I'll make a motion. May I have a second, please?
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay.
Stacy,
Yeah, sorry.
may I make one quick comment on the bill list?
Yes.
Thank you. One of the bills in there is an escrow refund for the one and only one resident we could find who was charged by both engineers when the process first started. So just want to point that out because in a prior meeting, it was said that many people, many residents may have been charged that. We found one and only one, and the engineer has agreed to refund their part of the money, so it won't come out of the taxpayer pockets.
Do you know how much that was for?
Less than 1,000, maybe. Bob, you remember offhand? I forget.
No, it was right around 1,000. That's why the refund is in that amount.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so the first resolution removed was Resolution 21-209, authorizing to ratify award of an emergency contract for the Memorial Field lighting.
Okay, motion?
Yeah, may I have a motion?
So moved.
I'll second. Discussion?
Well, why is this an emergency, Mrs. Feeney? The lights have not been working for a long period of time. It's been many, many years that we've had issues with these lights at Memorial Field. I've asked for the bid specification, the bid plans, the bid advertisement. I still haven't received any to date. I asked for the bid tabulation sheet. We still have not received that to date. I still don't understand how we made a payment on the bill list last month for about $50,000 to this vendor when he has done zero work at the site. I've called Mr. Poller. I've called various bond councils, and this bond that we're using is for bleachers. It has nothing to do with lighting. And first and foremost, let me state, I'm all for fixing the lights at Memorial Field. It is something that should be done, but I want it done properly. I don't want LED bulbs put in there just to say we put LED bulbs in there. We have one of the largest engineering firms in the county that has not weighed in. We have not seen any letter from John Yakimic, our borough engineer. We haven't seen anything from JIF. If it's such a liability for us, why hasn't JIF chimed in all these years? These lights, we haven't been able to get a contractor, Mr. Mayor, I think since you became mayor and I got put on council. So if it's been a problem, I know last year we didn't play on the field that much, but if it's such an issue, I just don't understand where the bid specs are, where the bid plans are, how we came up with this vendor. I just don't know where we're pulling this out of. And I'm concerned. I want it done right. I'm all for doing it. I am not against the project. So, for the naysayers that say I don't want it done, I want it done. I want it done properly. I don't want anybody to get hurt. And I just don't want to waste $150,000 to find out that it wasn't done properly.
Council President, may I answer? We would have needed money for this somewhere, and the budget, as we all know, is not done yet. No one could have foreseen that back in February when it was turned over to the council, that, we'd be almost at the end of May, and because of a lot of different circumstances, the budget still isn't done. So whether it was replaced with the old traditional lights, or the new LEDs, this is still only a light bulb replacement project. We're not re-engineering the lights at this time. As I believe I said in a previous meeting, that would happen if and when we redo the field. As far as the ordinance that it's being charged against, it's been said that it's being charged against the bleacher line in that ordinance. It is not. It is being charged against, I'm going to say sub-item A, where it says improvement of various town properties and facilities in and by the township. And then it goes on to some other things, but that's the one it's being done under. It is not being done under the bleachers. So we have the money in that ordinance, but people are looking at the wrong part of the ordinance because the bleacher money has mostly been spent on the bleachers. Let me just, I was trying to take some quick notes as you were speaking, Mike. We're doing it under the emergency contract provision that the law entitles us to do. By us, I mean the governing body, to handle situations like this where the budget isn't done yet, where we would normally pull the money out of. I believe when we went over the capital, everyone was in favor of this. So all we're looking to do is accelerate it because we didn't know the budget would take this long. So the different sport programs can use the field to their maximum capabilities into the evening and nighttime hours also. I think based on my quick notes, that's what I have.
So,
I have
Mr.
I have a question
Mayor,
regarding this.
hold on, I just want to respond to the mayor.
Yes.
Where was this bid? Where was the RFP for this?
Under the emergency contract provision of the law, we are not required to go out for bid.
It's $150,000. We have to go out to bid, Mr. Mayor.
No,
No,
it was sent to all of us.
Why has it not been an emergency the last 4 years or the last 10 years that we've had a problem with these lights? Why is it all of a sudden, an emergency? What happened? What was, the children played under these lights. If there was an issue, it's the same bulbs that we've had out since 2017, 2016.
Like,
And now, what's that, Mrs.
I'm sorry.
Morgan?
I was going to say, I can speak to, I definitely pressured as a parent, as a coach from cheer, as the person who ran cheer. We had more girls than we had ever had. At one point, we had 5 squads out on the field in 2019. I think I harassed the mayor and the town about the amount of phone calls that I got last year when we combined Westwood. Westwood was chiming in saying it was very, very unsafe. We had more girls than we ever did. Normally we would just not use, where the lights weren't working. We would kind of stay away from that area. But with the amount of children that we had in the program, we had to use every corner. There were animals that were coming out over there because it is so dark. It was just too dangerous. And it was a really, really horrible situation. Huh?
I'm
not disagreeing with that. I agree with everything you've said, Mrs. Morgan.
And I had lots of parents calling, and I also had I met with the lacrosse team. I went out onto the field, and there were a good amount of lights out. All the lights are not out, but the problem is that as I watched them play lacrosse, they couldn't see the ball. They could not see the ball with the way the light is and how the ball is played during lacrosse. I also called the mayor and Mr. Tovo, and I pushed for this also from about a month and a half ago, maybe 2 months ago, when other things were happening on the field. So I've had several parents called, same as Councilwoman Morgan, and I also did ask for this too.
Right. So I think it does rise to the level of emergency just based on my own, as a parent in town. It's really, truly, yes, our children have played up till this point without the lights, but it's become evident that something like we need to pull the trigger on this now.
Right.
But we were told a couple of meetings ago, we received multiple bids, and all I've asked for is to see the multiple bids, and we have not seen those. And
actually, no one said that we received multiple bids.
Yes, they did. Meeting. It's 2 meetings ago. We were told we would receive the quotes from I believe there was 2 bidders who bid the project, and it's $150,000 expenditure.
Mr. Tovo, do you have any comments regarding that aspect?
That's inaccurate. That comment was never made, and there were at no time did we have multiple bids. We had a hard time finding just one vendor that would do this. And this is the same vendor we've had since 2016, and that's why we utilized him. Also want to note, when the lights came on this year, there were many more lights out this year than there were at the end of last year, certainly making the conditions even worse than they were.
Was Jeff notified of the situation?
No, Jeff was not notified.
Okay. And did you receive a report from the engineer regarding the illumination and the safety of the field?
No, why would I need one? We're replacing light bulbs.
I'm just asking.
We're replacing what should already be there.
I'm just asking a question. Just say yes or no.
Right.
Okay.
I would expect, obviously, if we were going to do structures, we were going to do full lighting, lampposts, all of that. You gave a great explanation, Mayor. You cleared that up for people who maybe thought we were doing more than just light bulb change.
Right.
Yeah, that's good.
What is the guarantee, Mr. Tovo, that the light bulb change will give us the proper illumination of the fields for this $150,000? Is he going to go out there and measure the foot candles all around the field and adjust it accordingly, Mr. Tovo? Is that part of the bid that we're not seeing? These are all questions that
number one, that should have been done when the lights were originally put up. We're not changing lighting locations. Okay. But yes, there's time built into the spec for adjustments to be made to the lights.
But I've asked for the spec now for 2.5 weeks and I've not received the spec. So you just made a comment that it's in the spec for him to adjust and make those adjustments. I'd like to see the spec. And
I will correct my terminology. It's in the quote that there's extra.
I'd like to see the quote. We haven't received the quote.
I submitted that to the clerk. Sue, did I
I
not?
believe that was sent out.
Yeah, I think the
Sue,
quote
didn't
went
you
out.
forward that out?
I could not find any, those couple little lines that say total 150. Yeah,
That was
that's,
a 2-page thing, right, Mr. Tovo?
I believe it was, yes.
Yes.
That
that one did
definitely
go
went
out.
out because we spoke about it and you'd mentioned that was a quote, that wasn't a bid, that was a quote from the town.
correct.
Yeah,
And I don't see any adjustment time on there or,
Well, it says installation. There is some lines on there for installation for the field and adjustment if you look at the second page.
Yeah, but it
There
doesn't
is-
say nothing about taking lighting levels and making adjustments like what Mr. Tovo just said.
I didn't say that. I
Mr.
said
Tovo
there's
didn't
time-
say that. Mr. Tovo, if
You said
you
there's time in there for him to go take lighting levels and make adjustments as required.
Negative. I said there's time in there to adjust the lights.
Well, what does that mean then, Mr. Tovo?
Obviously, to make sure they're shining and covering the areas they need to.
Yeah, but that needs to be done. You need to set up a grid pattern on the field and go take lighting levels on a 10 by 10 grid and ensure that those lighting levels, is that in the quote or is that not in the quote?
Well, again, we are replacing light bulbs. So
Yeah, but if
whatever
we're going to spend
whatever the original
$150,000,
spec was, should have covered that when they were originally put up.
but that was 30 years ago. We're not, we're spending $150,000 in 2020. And I want to ensure that it's done properly and that at first base, there's 90-foot candles there so the first baseman can see the ball coming at him or the lacrosse player can catch the ball or Mrs. Morgan's cheerleaders don't slip because there's an animal coming out of the woods. That's what I'm asking for. Is that in the bid or is that not?
Adjustments to the light is in the quote.
Okay. Did we contact, how many vendors did we contact that did not give us a quote, Mr. Tovo?
At least 2, PSE&G being one of them, and they wouldn't touch the project unless we upgraded fixtures.
But what about like field lighting vendors? Except for the one that's been doing our work since 2016.
As stated earlier, the only one we found that can do this work is the vendor we're currently using.
A lot of other vendors I know from speaking to other towns, they would want to come in, Mike, and they would want to totally overhaul our lights and it would be.
There's other vendors that do bulb replacement, Mrs. Feeney.
Okay, can I speak now? Would that be okay?
I thought you
They would-
must have broken up.
They would want to come in and overhaul the lights completely, like companies like Musco or somebody else would want to put a whole system in, which would cost $750,000 or $1 million.
That's not the question I'm asking. There are other vendors who replace bulbs. There's 6 I can think of right out of my Rolodex that we could have contacted that would have liked to at least been able to quote this. I'm done.
What's the life on the bulbs, Mr. Tovo?
LEDs are typically 10 years.
Okay. That's great. Are we good with discussion?
Yeah, I think, this is a good direction, especially with what I saw with the lacrosse team. And
I'm excited. I
Me
can't
too.
wait. Positive. This is a positive thing.
Yeah, and replacing the bulbs is going to give us what we need for the teams to play. And it'll actually be benefit when we invite other towns in too.
Yeah, and I want to personally thank Mr. Tovo for jumping on this and, putting this out to an emergency contract. To me, it qualifies for an emergency. because the emergency says something having to do with safety, public health safety. We all agree that it's definitely a safety item because you don't want balls flying around or animals that, can't be seen readily.
And general kid safety on the field, not just players, but guests.
So I think it's totally appropriate, and I thank you, Bob, for, when you saw the situation, responding to it very quickly.
Okay, Sue, roll call.
Councilman Casio,
Yes.
Councilman DeSena,
Yes.
Councilwoman Morgan,
Yes.
Councilman Sears,
Yes.
Council President Feeney.
Yes. Resolution number 21-214, authorize award of contract for municipal architect. I'm going to get this wrong. Arcario Iovino, 1 Catherine Street, Little Ferry, New Jersey, 07643. I'll make a motion. May I have a second, please?
I'll second.
Discussion?
Yes. Mr. Tova, you provided a bid sheet of all the bidders. Thank you. Was the qualification the principal per hour rate that we ranked them?
No, there are multiple factors. Number one, location. That's why that's also listed. Price of the principal, of course, has to be weighed into the equation. I should start by saying all of these firms here are all very good firms with a lot of municipal experience. Bakari and Iovino, they're familiar with the township. They're currently doing the library project. I personally am familiar with their work. I've checked all their references, and I've gotten the same response from virtually everybody, is that they are very responsive. So I feel in light of all those elements, they are the right company to utilize for any upcoming, I should say, for the DPW building. I think they're the right firm for us for this.
So I guess,
Mr. Tova, are we awarding them the municipal architect position so they could design the DMF building?
Yeah, it's primarily our big issue right now.
But I'm saying we won't go out to bid for that. That'll be a direct request from them.
Go out to bid for the job or for the
design services.
They would be doing the design services, yes.
so I guess my question regarding this resolution is this just for one job, the design of the DPW building, or is it for all municipal projects?
This is primarily for the DPW building. If another architectural project were to come into play, we would be able to use its architect for that as well.
Okay, because I am not in the mind of just hiring one architect for the municipality. I like to use specialized architects for their area of expertise. So I frown upon it. I made that clear before. I'm sure they're a very good firm, but again, I'd like to go out to bid for specific projects. When you carry a general contract for a contract, because basically is what he's going to be, the general architect, you don't get, I don't think you get bang for your buck there. So that's my opinion. But I'll leave it at that.
Mr. Sheldon, to Councilman Cassio's point, we would still be allowed, we would still do our due diligence and go out to bid for certain projects, even if they are our architect. We're not bound to use them, correct? For outside of DPW. Like, let's say we were going to put something else up.
No, of course not. If we had a particular job and there was somebody with more expertise in that area, yes, we could certainly utilize someone else's services.
So,
And I could see here based on the,
One at a time, please.
Why don't we just do per job?
well, this is good because this firm has experience, it says specifically in the public sector, if you read their bios. They are, tied to that. And since we do have the option that if we're not happy with what's going on, we can still go out to bid. This is actually a positive for the town. If we have questions, we have someone we could go to. We have a point of contact, for future reference on questions in general. This is not necessarily a negative thing.
So
Yeah.
why can't we appoint Arcari and Ivino just for the DPW project? Why do we have to appoint them municipal architect like we're the city of Hackensack or, the city of Englewood? Why
Well,
can't
it's,
we
wouldn't
authorize a
that,
word of contract for a DPW building and that's it?
Stacey, may I respond to that?
yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
The thinking behind this was to have an architect that we can bounce ideas off of for all size projects, big and little. However, there's nothing from stopping us on a bigger project from going out, but I like having an architect on hand. That way, if we have a few questions, we have something for a couple $1,000s. We don't have to go out to bid for an architect just for a $2,000 job. We have them available to us, but it does not lock us into them in any way, shape, or form.
Right.
That explains it.
Sue, roll call?
Councilman Casio,
No.
Councilman DeSena,
No.
Councilwoman Morgan,
Yes.
Councilman Sears,
Yes.
Council President Feeney.
Yes. Okay, resolution number 21-215, authorize appointment of Joseph Citro as the qualified purchasing agent, May 17, 2021 through May 16, 2022. I'll make a motion. May I have a second, please?
Second.
Discussion?
Mr. Tovo, don't we have a municipal employee that'll soon be a QPA that we're going to use?
We have an employee that has completed all of the courses, but there's been no test date announced by the state because they're still requiring the test be done in person.
Okay.
So we don't know when it's going to take place.
All right. Thank you.
Question: Are we going to retain him after our employee passes his or her certification?
We are not.
We are not. Okay. And is there a current schedule for the testing, or that's up in the air right now?
Completely up in the air.
Okay. Thank you.
We're even sure they'll give the test this year.
Okay.
Hopefully with with the restrictions being lifted soon, hopefully things will get back to normal. Okay. Sue, roll call?
Councilman Casio,
Yes.
Councilman DeSena,
Yes.
Councilwoman Morgan,
Yes.
Councilman Sears,
Yes.
Council President Feeney.
Yes. Okay, that was the last item. Adjournment to conference agenda. I'll make a motion. May I have a second, please?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so we're starting, there's nothing on the current business, so we're going right into budget. Okay, now we're gonna be discussing salaries.
You have a couple things that you want to do first.
Oh, hold on, let me pull that sheet up. So what's the line? You said you don't need your line, right?
Not for that, but I do need to speak about elections.
Okay, so then go ahead about elections. Could you just let us know what page it's on? Do you have that page?
Yes, it's in the beginning.
It's on page 7.
All right, so I'm gonna say goodnight. Is that all
No,
right?
no, you can't tonight. You have to stay on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Nice try.
Good trick.
Yeah, exactly.
Stacy, good trick.
It's,
I know.
Actually, it's on page 8 and 9.
8 and
That's
9.
where elections show up.
Okay.
20-121, 230, or 21, 121, 500.
So my note says you want to increase this by 2,000, right, Sue?
Yes.
Okay, could you let them know what you told me?
Absolutely. What has happened is, since the library is closed basically to the public still, I mean, they do their pickups and drop-offs, but they have to take all the books and store them in the room in which I would normally be carrying elections. And that is jam-packed with books, and that's for their quarantining time of, I believe Laura was saying, 72 hours.
Correct.
And thinking of that and having conversations with Ms. Rifkin, the situation came up that if I was to use the library, she did not have the staff in order to be there for the day. And I would have to get either a police officer or staff to be there all day long, which I don't have either. And police officers cannot be in the building. They cannot be in a polling
Right.
location. They have
Right,
to be outside the location.
right.
So I reached out to the county and I started discussing the different options. And they said that if I wanted to do any changes and wanted to try to do anything here in the building, I had to have them come out and do an inspection, which I did. Unfortunately, I had to wait until this particular person was returning to work to come. So it was the last week of April. I had two people from the County Board of Elections come in. They measured, they walked, we talked, we counted outlets. We did everything between the courtroom and the senior room. I would love to have everything in the senior room, but unfortunately with CDC guidelines and social distancing, I could not fit everything in there with those guidelines. So I had to split the districts up. So I took the smaller of the three districts from the library and suggested putting it in the senior room. Not that everybody comes out and votes at the same time, but you never know. And having the other two districts here in the courtroom. She went back with her notes and their measurements and pictures and spoke to the commissioner of the Board of Elections and came back with an approval.
Okay,
Having said that, the problem being is I now by law need to be in compliance and notify each and every voter of each and every those three districts, 1, 3, and 5, of a change in their polling location.
okay.
Wait out a letter compared to a postcard. I will be honest, I wasn't a fan of the postcard at first because I felt I'm thinking little postcard get lost in the mail. Going back and forth, pulling all of our resources here in the building of envelopes, looking at how much we cost for postage, replacing the envelopes, printing and doing the printing, and the man hours of having to stuff 3,600 envelopes, which is equivalent to the tax bills. And making a couple calls to a couple different printers to get some prices on what a postcard would cost me at this point. And I decided to go with the postcard, which is going to be like a 4x6. It's not going to be a tiny thing. It's going to be something that's going to be bigger. I think it's like 4.5 by 6.5. It will have all the bullet points on there. They will do everything for me, from putting the addresses on it to printing to bringing it to the post office and mailing it. Everything all wrapped up in one. I felt it was a well worthwhile cause. It's a one-shot deal unless, God forbid, crystal ball's not open. Something changes in the future that we have to change it for something else. But right now, I think this would probably be the best bet to do right now, everything in-house, and I'll have Cornelia and Ida here to staff it.
So is this just for the primary or for both
No.
the primary and general?
It'll be everything. It'll be every
Right.
time. All the elections going forward. So it's, like I said, it's a one,
Well, what if COVID guidelines change, Mrs. Witkowski?
do you want to spend another $2,000 to switch it all back?
Well, that's what my question was. Is your plan then to leave it at town hall so it doesn't
Yes.
interfere with the library? Okay.
Yes.
So then next year when the ballots get printed, you'll have that change in with the
Well,
county and that go.
Right, the ballots will come out with that on there now. From what I understand, it should have it on there now, but people don't realize that, and they will be going over to the library. I've spoken to Laura, she's made some posters. We'll be putting one on the door at the library saying this is no longer a polling place, and we want to get it to, in fact, now she should have it up there today, in fact. And I'd like to see if I can get one posted maybe at the Fresh Grocer and even at
Yeah.
the post office, just to start things going. The website has it posted. I've asked to put it on social media. I've asked WCTV to put it out. But by law, I have to have something in a mailing.
So how much more would you like to increase this line?
It's going to cost me $1,912 to do.
Oh. Okay, so and which line do you want to put this on? The miscellaneous?
I think I would rather put it under the ballots because basically it's going to be with the ballots itself.
So then you're asking for 11,009, what is it?
Okay.
Make it 12.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so I'll make a motion for 12,000 for the ballots line. May I have a second, please?
Second.
Sue, roll call.
Councilman Cassium,
Yes.
Councilman DeSena,
Yes.
Councilwoman Morgan.
Yes.
Councilman Sears,
Yes.
Council President Feeney.
Yes.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate your
So
support.
have we thought about the nightmare this parking is going to be at town hall, since, the aisle now
That's-
is not a turnaround, and Have we put
Well,
any thought into that? Have we
yes.
talked to the police
Yes.
department? Because that's
Yes.
going to be a nightmare.
Yes.
I mean, I can understand doing it for this pandemic, but I think going forward, going back to the next general or primary, it's much more convenient to have two different locations because, you're going to have so many people at the Borough Hall. It's going to be a nightmare. So
Well, I've
that's-
spoken with Mr. Tovo. I run it past the mayor. I've spoken to the police department. I've spoken with DPW, and everybody knows, and we will make it work where employees, it might even be a day where certain employees will work from home.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying.
And we'll park in front of the building, in the down the street, and in the bank parking lot. We talked about it. We've got 60 spaces out there. Maybe 55 with some of the stuff, going on now, but.
You know how crazy it gets, Sue.
Yeah, I know. And at certain times of the day that it gets crazier than others, but when you're open from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m., people do spread out, and it's not like they're all coming at the same time.
Okay, that's good. I'm glad we were able to.
I'm confident that I believe we should be able to. If I run into a problem, believe me, I will apologize and I will ask for a change, but I have confidence that this is going to work. I will make it work.
Good luck.
The COVID
All right,
reimbursable
sounds
expense,
good.
Mrs. Wachowski?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, moving on. The next open item is Planning Department Board Legal Services is at the top of page 19.
Can't hear you.
Top of page
You're
19.
cutting out, Sue.
You're good.
We're at the top of page 21. So it's Planning Board Department Legal Services. It is account 121180260 for $12,500.
Since we only
I'm
spent,
sorry.
just under 5,000, can we cut it?
Well, that was the question, but then they're saying based upon what's going on in the town, Mr. Tovo and Mr. Power recommended leaving it at 12,500 because of the what's coming up to the board is my notes. And we were asking Mr. Tovo, Mr. Power to go back and make sure that that's what they wanted. So, Mr. Tovo?
Yeah, we just have a lot of activity going through the board right now. So I think right now would be a gamble to lower that number this year.
And if they do need it, then there's going to be a removal from another account, and just keep that in mind if that's what they're saying they need.
Yeah,
So what page are you on?
Sorry, the top of 21, I believe. Am I wrong?
Yes.
Yes, no, you're all right.
Oh.
Okay.
prior 3 years were much closer to the 12.5 number, so I consider last year an anomaly of some type.
I'll make a motion for the 12,500. May I have a second?
Second.
Sue, whenever you're ready.
Councilman Casio,
No.
Councilman DeSena,
No,
Councilwoman Morgan,
Yes.
Councilman Sears,
Yes.
Council President Feeney.
Yes. Okay, the next one, we had some questions about some items that were in the police vehicle. Equipment repairs, it is on page 47, I believe.
Yes.
It's 126315004. I did not write down what the questions were. I just had that we were confirming that was the number for this year because last year, the note I have is last year was 12,000. This year was 10. Mr. Tovo, you were going to confirm this amount with the police chief?
And that number is accurate. That's what the request was.
Is everybody good with the 10,000 for the police vehicle, the equipment and repairs?
Yes.
can we lower it closer to
It seems a little higher than me.
since we have all new cars and everything?
Mr. Tovo, is there anything that's planned that you can advise the council to?
I'd like to see this number go lower, but being we're already going down by 2, let's see how 2021 goes. Maybe we can go lower in 22.
So I'll make a motion for 8,500.
I'll second it.
Sue?
Councilman Casio,
Yes.
Councilman DeSena,
Yes.
Councilwoman Morgan,
Yes.
Councilman Sears,
Yes.
Council President Feeney.
Yes. Okay, the next item is just on the next page. If you flip over, it's the Community Service Acts for $36,000. Tovo?
Yes, we simply just missed this line when we were going through the budget. So as you can see, our run is pretty close to what's being budgeted here. So I think we're okay with that number.
Everybody, I'll make a motion for the 36,000.
Second.
Sue?
Councilman Casio,
No,
Councilman DeSena.
number's too high.
I'm sorry, Councilman DeSena,
Yes.
Councilwoman Morgan,
Yes.
Councilman Sears,
Yes.
Council President Feeney.
Yes. Okay, the next line is the, Mr. Tovo, this was the line that you were talking about maybe removing. I believe it's on page 40. No, it's not on page.
I'm sorry, what page?
It's the recreation lacrosse lights. I believe you were going to recommend that to do something with this line. What was your recommendation?
Do you know what page you're on, Mrs.
52.
Feeney?
Yeah, you know what? That was the only one I didn't put a sticky on. So just give me 1 second. I'm sorry.
The only note I have is that it was tabled according to the mayor, and it was a matter of checking, I think, with Mr. Tovo, who was a rent of the portable lights.
Right, I
That's
know.
what I
I
have
think
written
it's
down.
on page 53.
52, second from
52.
top.
Yeah.
Sorry, my fault. It was the only line I didn't post it. So, okay. So, Mr. Mayor, Mr. Tovo, did we
Yeah,
lose? Oh, no, there's Peter. Okay.
That is correct. At the end of last year, when we turned the lights on in Memorial, they were supplemented by portable lighting. But now it's deteriorated so much that that portable lighting really isn't going to be of much use. So I see no reason to spend this. So I would request that we zero that out.
All right, I'll make a motion to remove this line for 0. May I have a second?
Second.
Sue?
Councilman Casio,
Yes.
Councilman DeSena,
Yes.
Councilwoman Morgan,
Yes.
Councilman Sears,
Yes.
Council President Feeney.
Yes. Okay, that's great. The next line is for Clean Communities Program. It's on page, is it on page 60?
You're cutting out, Steve.
Sorry. The next one is for Clean Communities Program. It is at the bottom of page 65. So the requested amount is 30,000.
And what's this for, Mr. Tovo?
Is this responsible?
Yes, just let me find it. You said the bottom of,
65,
65.
sorry.
yeah, there's actually 2 lines for this. One is our match and one shows the grant coming in. So only one hits the bottom line of the budget, and that would be this line here.
So this is a matching grant.
Is a matching grant, correct?
Okay, so I'll make a motion for the 30,000 and just after someone seconds, could you just tell us what grant it's for?
Well, Clean Communities is a pretty broad area. We can
Okay.
utilize funding from there just for 25% can go towards the LEAF Act, which we're doing this year. And the balance goes to anything that can beautify or enhance the community.
We have a second, please?
I'll
I'll,
second.
I'll say,
Beat you to it.
Do roll call.
Councilman Casio,
Yes.
Councilman DeSena,
Yes.
Councilwoman Morgan,
Yes.
Councilman Sears,
yes.
Council President Feeney.
Yes. So Mr. Tovo, the next one that we're going to is the second line for this for the 28,000, right? So it's on the next page, page 66. 6 in the middle of the page, it's Clean Communities Program cap. It's 41770-200.
Correct.
Okay, I'll make a motion for the 28,000.
What's this one
What-
for?
yeah,
This is the
what's
ma-
it for?
It's the
This is-
second.
This
Go
is
ahead,
the
Miss-
match coming in.
Oh,
Okay, I need a second.
Second.
Sue, roll call.
Councilman Casio,
Yes.
Councilman DeSena,
Yes.
Councilwoman Morgan,
yes.
Councilman Sears,
Yes.
Council President Feeney.
Yes. Okay, the next one is for the Capital Improvement Fund. Let's see, that is for
Page.
670, I believe. It's in the, towards the top of 70.
Yes, second one down.
Actually, I have that one checked off.
I know.
You started and then you stopped and you said to hold, and Mr. Tovo was going to get back with more details.
Okay.
Well, actually, the question wasn't more detailed. The question was whether or not we need that much money, and the 100,000 is just our down payment money.
Right. I do actually have that checked off.
I have a question mark.
Me too.
Okay.
I have two yeses and then we stopped.
Oh, okay. It was a mid-vote.
Yes.
So,
Mid-vote.
Mr. Tovo, it says Capital Improvement Fund, 243,064 as of 12/31/20. So does that mean we're short?
No, we're not sure. This is to fund new projects for this year.
Yeah, but what's the note? What's the note there?
Is that the balance?
Yeah, it's just the balance.
So what do we need to fund more money in here if we have 243,000 in there already?
Well, we have used some of it for the police funding, so that number will come down. And that's kind of where we left off. Do we need to fund all of it? In conferring with LVH, they recommend we leave something in there because it's just going to jump back up again next year or the year after. So you're better off still funding it. That's why we lowered it from the 160 originally to the 100 now. And again, LVH was comfortable at that number.
So this is based on the recommendation, not from the auditors on what our capital improvement is right now.
Correct.
Does Mr. Corcoran agree to this number?
He does.
The 100,000 number?
Yes, the 100,000 number.
Okay.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second your motion.
I'd like to reduce it a little bit.
Well, we have let's see what happens. We have a motion for the 100.
Okay.
Councilman Casio,
No.
Councilman DeSena,
No.
Councilwoman Morgan,
Yes.
Councilman Sears,
Yes.
Council President Feeney.
Yes. Okay, the last one we have is deferred charges unfunded. It's 46,870-100. And it's on this page.
71.
Yes. 71?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
For 19,000, is that what this is?
19,547, Mr. Tovo?
Yeah, the 9547 is for deferred charges from prior years. The audit does not specify what years those deferred charges come from. And the $10,000 is for funds that we charge to the CFO line item for LVH services while we didn't have a CFO. Now, our former auditor was advised that we were going to utilize that and voiced no objection at the time, but then made a comment in the audit.
So, well, I'm sorry, Lou May approved the posting initially, and then in the audit findings, they
No, I'm
decided.
not gonna characterize it as an approval, but he did not object to it.
Okay.
So what's the 9547 for?
You only indicates deferred charges from prior years, plural. Doesn't specify what.
So is it prior to like more than 2019, or we don't even know what years?
We received an email from LVH of what it was.
We did.
Yes.
And that's exactly what the email said, deferred charges from prior years.
For items which had no funds available to be charged.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's overdraft protection a year later. That's all it is.
Yeah.
But with
Oh.
taxpayers' money.
No, we don't know if there are any more unfunded things out there, or is this close the books on them?
It says year, and you know what? Did Tom get a copy of this? Because I don't know if he was on.
Yeah,
You know what? I will forward it to you.
thank you.
Yeah, you're
That
welcome.
email?
Yeah, I don't think Tom.
I'm sure he did, because that only came out about 2 weeks ago.
I'll take
It
a
says
look. at it.
it says 423.
Let's see.
I just sent it to him. It's fine.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks, man.
I got it.
Some of it was from 17 and 18. Okay.
Sorry.
Any
Thank
other
you, Steve.
questions? Sorry?
Thank you, I got it.
You're welcome.
Motion.
Sorry?
Second.
Okay. Sue, roll call?
All right, for that full amount, correct? So Desiree, you motioned, and
Yep.
Councilman Sears, you second.
Correct.
Thank you. Councilman Casio,
Yes.
Councilman DeSena,
No.
Councilwoman Morgan,
Yes.
Councilman Sears,
Yes.
and Council President Feeney.
Yes. Okay, so that leaves the open items. Moving on to salaries.
The only other thing, Stacy, was that one with the council trophies and plaques. I don't know, does anybody else have that one open?
No, I don't have that one open. I have that closed, that we reduced it $400.
What page is that?
It's page 4.
179, oh. I have mayor's trophies.
That one's we approved.
No, we approved it for 600, I thought.
Under the mayor's one, the mayor's.
No, under council, we approved.
Let's see.
Yeah.
600.
600.
For
Yeah.
600.
I don't have that one for the council
We did.
trophies. We have the
We do.
mayor's
I
and
have-
council.
No, I have that we approved that one.
All right, because the note I have is Mr. Toro was gonna double check the budget transfer, that's all.
No, we approved for 600.
Okey doke. Thank you.
Okay, everybody received the revised spreadsheet? Sue, what was the date of the email with the revised spreadsheet?
1 second, I'm sorry.
It's okay. Sorry.
Just saw it too, I'm just looking for the other one.
Was that from last Wednesday with the job descriptions, Mrs. Feeney?
I believe so. I just wanted to make sure that was the latest and greatest.
I'm sure also. Job description.
I didn't want to put the date in Sue's mouth and then be wrong, so,
Yeah, no.
It
I'm
was
just,
the 12th,
okay.
May 12th.
That was the last one. That's
was
the
in
one we should all
Tuesday.
have. Okay.
yes. Must be Tuesday then.
And the org chart is in there also.
Is that the one that's 62 pages, Mrs. Feeney?
Wait, you might be right. Hold on,
Yeah,
think so.
definitely.
yeah,
What's that?
It is, yeah.
it is, yeah. Sorry, it was just downloading.
Chart at the end of it?
What's that?
The org chart's at the end?
The end, yeah. Or, it's funny, when I downloaded it, the org chart's at the beginning. When I looked at it online, the org chart's at the end.
Yeah, I have it at the end.
I don't have an org chart in my pages. That's my problem.
Oh, what chart? I'm sorry?
Scroll to the end, Mike. See if it might be like the last page. It's 60.
No, I have 62, but the last page has got text on it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll forward you this org chart then.
Oh, table of organization?
Yeah.
That was from last year.
Did it, Mike? I'll just forward this to you. It's fine.
Thank you.
It's just so you,
All of us. Stacey.
oh, sure. You know what? I'll forward it to Sue. Sue, could you forward it to everybody? Because I don't want to get in trouble.
I'm having trouble finding mine also.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm having trouble finding my last spreadsheet. I wonder if I deleted it.
Yeah, no, I found mine. Mine was on Tuesday.
Okay.
It was on Tuesday.
The spreadsheet too
The spreadsheet.
was on Tuesday. Can you send that to me? Because I think I may have deleted it.
You're going to send that to everybody, right?
Right, how about we give you a 5-minute break and let me go upstairs and do it from the computer. This way, my phone never does the group the way it should.
Sounds good.
Mike, I did forward it to you before everybody else asked for it.
I didn't get anything yet.
Right. I'll go upstairs. I'll do that
Stu.
organization and that stuff from, say, Stacey had sent over to you, and I'll do the salary chart. Is that okay?
Yeah, and the worksheet too with the corrected
Yeah, the salaries.
salaries. Thank you. Yes.
Yes, the comparison chart.
Steve, were
I didn't
you?
get anything.
Say something?
Yeah, can you send it to my personal?
Okay, 2021 budget, starting with salaries. Everybody has, just so you know, I'm going to go off the spreadsheet we received, not the book, because it just makes the books. Okay? Is everybody okay with that?
Yep.
Sure.
Oh, just wait for Mr. Sears to get back. I think he went to print it out. Or not.
Stacy, you're talking about the 3-page spreadsheet?
Yes. It's just, it's just easier. We need to go to the book, we can go to the book, okay? Is that okay? Sue, you ready?
I think so.
Okay, all right. So the first line is the administrator. It looks like it's a 1.5% increase. Mr. Chovo, any comments?
Oh, yeah, just to begin, with the exception of a few items that I'll point out as we go through, these are all 1.5% raises across the board.
Okay. Okay, everybody good with the 1.5% for the administrator?
I'm good.
I'm good.
Okay, nobody has any issues. Okay, administrative assistant is a 1.5% increase.
I'm good.
Good.
Okay. DPW admin. Good.
So Bob, that person has both those titles?
That is correct.
Okay, thank you.
Floating staff. Okay, purchasing and payroll.
Wait a minute, Stacy, you guys bleeped out. I didn't hear anything on that. I'm sorry.
Well, I said if somebody's got an issue, just, I went to the next one, nobody had an
Okay.
issue, so.
Stacy, is it assumed that everyone's voting yes if no one has an issue?
I am assuming that. I guess we should take a vote because, okay, so let's start over. So,
I think you should have a vote on the rest.
yeah, administrator, make a motion for the requested 131,950. It's 1.5% increase. May I have a second, please?
Second.
Sue?
All right, hold on a second. I'm gonna make it
Yeah.
short somewhere here.
Okay.
Okay. All right, Councilman Casio.
Yes.
Bear with me for 1 second. I have to do.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Okay, sorry, it's okay.
Okay, so Stacy, you made the motion. The second was by Tom, and we're ready with the roll call. All right, Councilman Casio, you said yes. Councilman DeSena,
Yes.
Councilwoman Morgan,
Yes.
Councilman Sears,
Yes.
Council President Feeney.
Yes. Okay, the next one is for the administrative assistant, 43,260. I'll make a motion.
Second.
Sue?
Councilman Casio,
Yes.
Councilman DeSena,
Yes.
Councilwoman Morgan,
Yes.
Councilman Sears,
Yes.
Council President Feeney.
Yes. Okay, DPW admin, make a motion for the $3,045.
Ms. Feeney, one question.
I'm sorry, go
One
ahead.
question. Why is it shared? What's the shared mean in your chart?
Not my, number one, it just so
Under
we're clear,
merit or COLA?
it's not my chart, just so you know, and I believe the person who's had mentioned
I
on the
can't
line
hear.
above. So it's now, first of all, I just want to make clear, it's not my chart. The second thing is that I believe the person who's named above shares that position.
Okay, so merit and cost of living and shared is, well, I have to know what we're talking about.
This is,
Shared. Are we talking when we increase it next time?
this is a COLA adjustment, and the notation for shared is, just so you know, one person is doing both jobs.
But the increase on the line is still at 1.5%, correct, Mr. Tovo?
Correct.
Okay, so I
Okay.
believe we had a second.
I didn't get the second. I had you as a motion. Who was doing the second?
Tom,
Thank you. Councilman Casio,
Yes.
Councilman DeSena,
Yes.
Councilwoman Morgan,
Yes.
Councilman Sears,
yes,
Council President Feeney.
Yes. For floating staff, I'll make the motion for 13,934. May I have a second, please?
I'll second.
Do whenever you're ready.
Okay, Councilman Casio,
Yes.
Councilman DeSena,
No.
Councilwoman Morgan,
Yes.
Councilman Sears,
yes,
Council President Feeney.
Yes. Purchasing and payroll, it's a 1.5% increase at 47,057. A motion?
motion,
I'll second. Any discussion? Sue, roll call?
Councilman Casio,
Yeah, because one question, with that particular thing, is this person going to be the QPA in the future?
Mr. Tovo?
That is correct, provided
There's
there's
a
a test.
the purchasing,
I'm
Yes.
sorry, Mr. Cassidy, you're breaking
and
up.
it's going to be,
Steve, can you
You're breaking up
start
as well.
over again? Steve, you're
Yeah,
very
the
broken.
question was, you're just as broken. The question is this: for this particular person, this is doing payroll and QPA.
They're doing purchasing, and once they're certified, they will be our QPA and thus be eligible for that stipend number.
Okay, so that's a stipend. Okay. Yes. Okay. Thank you for the explanation.
I'll make a motion for the 47. So Sue, roll call. We had a motion.
yes. Councilman Casio,
Yes.
Councilman DeSena,
Yes.
Councilwoman Morgan,
Yes.
Councilman Sears,
yes,
Council President Feeney.
Yes, I'll make a motion for the stipend of 2,500. May I have a second, please?
I'll second.
Sue, whenever you're ready.
Do we do an all in favor, Sue, or does it have to be a roll call?
Mr. Pollard, do you have a preference?
I think you can do an all in favor as long as everybody does come on the mic and you hear them. I don't want to have people saying they didn't say yes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're right.
I definitely want to have a vote by everybody. So if all in favor and everybody gets on, I think that's fine.
Okay, so all in favor, we'll go one by one in alphabetical order.
No. All in favor is everybody says aye, but
I know,
Don't
just
call
saying,
us-
let everybody say it independently so we all heard them, that's all.
And Stacy, maybe if you just want to do a nay and see if anyone answers that way, it's,
Okay, so all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Nay?
I didn't hear Tom. Let's go back to roll call.
Roll call is easier.
Yeah,
Just roll
let's
it.
just do it that way. I'm
I'm
sorry.
just trying to make it quicker, guys.
but it's
Listen,
working.
I'm trying to go fast.
Mike, if we weren't on Zoom, it would be fine, but
Yeah.
it's too much noise. I understand. I completely get it. It's a good idea, but unless
Yeah,
we all
thank you for
raise our
trying.
hand,
yeah, why don't you raise your hands?
Can we raise our hand? Because we
Can we
got to get
raise
through
our-
this quicker.
can we raise our
Yeah.
hand? Let's raise our
Yeah.
hands. Okay. All in favor of 2,500?
No eyes, just raise your hands. Where's Steve? Hold
Okay.
on. He's not on my
Steve-
screen.
Steve,
Hold on.
there you go. We can see your hand now. Yes.
But I don't see his
On the other
hand.
side, we couldn't see. Okay, so 5 yeses.
His hand was up.
I am going to confirm in the end. So just
Okay, thank you.
said no and no. Okay, so it looks
Yeah.
like the next one is for the mayor, and there actually is no increase for this year, so his salary is staying the same. All in favor?
Aye.
aye.
Steve, I think it's your background is making you have a flashing effect. So with the raising of your hand, just so you know.
I don't know.
Okay, council members, there's no increase. I'm in favor of council not
Aye.
having an increase this year, so I'll motion for the 31,407. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Clerk, one and a half.
I'm sorry. Can we go back? I'm sorry. Who, you guys, now this is confusing me. I'm sorry. All right, council. Stacy, you motioned that?
Yeah,
And who seconded?
Desiree.
Now I'm looking up to look at hands where before I was just talking.
Okay.
Sorry.
Sue, I have a different number for the next one. Did you change it?
Yeah, I would request a discussion on that, a private
Okay.
discussion.
So clerk, I'd like to make a motion to open the discussion on the clerk's salary. May I have a motion?
Hold it.
She needs to be Rice then.
Yes, yeah. All right. I mean, general increases of a percentage for everybody across the board. That's one thing. If you're going to start to talk about terms and conditions of employment, then they have a right to keep that enclosed.
That's fine. I think it's just a general discussion.
Well, no. Well, you're talking about terms and conditions of employment, aren't you?
No?
Oh, I thought you were talking about her salary.
Yes.
Oh, well,
Yeah. That's who you are talking about.
That's terms and conditions of employment.
Terms and conditions.
Sue, what's the number? The number you put in the book and the number on the sheet are different. So where do we stand?
Can I interject here on the clerk's behalf?
What?
Who
Right.
wants to interject on the clerk's behalf? Yes, go ahead.
Thank you. So the mayor administration recommended 1.5 across the board. There was a request by the clerk for a different number, a higher number than that. And I expressed to her that she should have the ability to make her case for that raise. So I think we should table this and she should be raised accordingly and we can have the
Fine,
conversation.
perfect.
Exactly.
We'll do that.
Exactly.
Okay, so we're gonna table that one. Okay, so we're gonna move on to the assistant to the clerk. I'll motion for 35,525.
I'll second it.
All in favor, just your hands.
Aye.
I see all five of you.
Yeah,
That's good.
that's good. Okay, then also the same is, that's for 1807 for health part-time admin. I'll make a motion. I need a second. Okay,
Second.
Tom. All in
Second.
favor?
Aye.
Okay, we still can't not say aye. Okey dokey. Okay, elections is a fee of $75. I'll make a motion. May I have a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Sorry.
Michael, you left the screen. Steve, you don't have a hand up.
Okay, $75 fee. Okay, thank
Okay.
you. Steve, did you have your hand up or no?
Yes. Oh, no, Steve, I'm sorry.
Steve,
Steve.
Here it is.
Thank you.
there you
Thank
go.
you.
Talk to the hand.
Okay, CFO, it's a 1.5% increase to 71,050. I'll make a motion. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Second,
Okay.
okay. All in favor?
No.
Okay, so we have 4 and 1.
Aye.
Okay, tax collector, it's a 1.5% increase to 51,512. I'll make a motion. Second,
Second.
okay. All in favor? Okay, 5, okay.
There we go.
All right, deputy treasurer, 5,075. I'll make a motion. May I have a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
No.
1, 2, 3, 4.
That's
Okay,
4
one
yeses
no.
and 1 no.
Right. Okay, second floater at $16.50 an hour. I'll make a motion for the $16.50 an hour. May I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Tova, this is a new employee, correct?
Yes, sir, it is. And this would primarily be in purchasing to help remedy the issues we discussed earlier in the budget.
What about the other floating staff? Why can't she help that?
Primarily her duties and tax are consuming the majority of her time, and the balance will be filling in when my administrative assistant is not there. So There's just not enough time to give that department the help that it needs.
So you have an hourly rate. What's the amount we're putting in there? How much do we expect to expend in 2021?
In that line item, I budgeted $25,000, so there's about $9,000 for the balance of the year.
Okay.
Really want to get a feel for how many hours are going to be needed.
Okay, all in favor of the $16.50 per hour?
No.
All. Okay, I have 4.
Steve?
He had his hand up.
Oh, I didn't see that. Okay.
I saw the flash. That's what I saw. Well, as soon as he goes like this, that wherever the car thing is from cars, it goes away. So, okay. Tax assessor to 21,177. I'll make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Okay. Tax assessor clerk for 5,000. No increase there. I'll make
Is
a
that a new
motion.
position, Mr. Tovo?
That is not a new position. It's actually a decrease now. We used to be at 8,000 and now it's at 5.
It's a new person in an existing position.
So the salary should be 8,000 for 2020 salary and 5,000 for 2021. So there's a typo there.
Well, I think he said what did you say? It was a new position?
No,
No,
existing position, new.
Old position, new person.
you're correct. That is a typo.
Okay.
I'll make a motion for the 5,000. May I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Planning board admin, 12,500. I'll make a motion for the 12,500. May I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
This is also a new, these are both new positions, correct, Mr. Tovo? Or are these replacing somebody that left?
Same scenario as above. New person, existing position.
So the 2020 rate is wrong.
Yeah, I believe you're right. I believe it was at 15 last year.
Okay, because I believe the old person made, okay.
15.
Okay, so
for
I've got
each job.
4 all in favors. Do we have 5 or is it still,
No, I'm
so we've
good,
got 5?
I'm
Okay,
good.
fine.
I just wanted to get Mr. Tovo.
Okay, zoning board admin is at 12,500 for this year. All in favor? I'll make a motion. I need a second.
Second.
I need an all in favor, please.
Aye.
Okay, 5. Thank you. Construction official is at 29,246. May I have a motion?
I'll motion.
I'll second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Got 5. When I say 5, I'm just confirming that I didn't miss anybody. Plumbing official is at 11,370. It's a 1.5% increase. I'll make a motion for the 11,370. May I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Part-time tech assistant, 30,349. I'll make a motion. May I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Jason, electrical, is that electrical official?
Yes.
Okay.
It is.
14,188. I'll make a motion. May I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Fire code official, 8,604. I'll make a motion. May I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 5.
Hmm?
Head technical assistant, 42,488. I'll make a motion.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
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 PZ construction liaison, PZ. Is that supposed to be PT?
Planning and zoning.
Oh, planning zoning. Thanks.
And
Sorry.
who is that identified as, Mr. Mayor? What is that person?
Water.
That's the person listed above?
Sarah?
Correct.
So that's a new position we've created.
That is, yes.
But
And
it's
what's the purpose of this position?
Coordination. We now have two different engineers employed by the township, and we discovered we're looking back over the years, and there wasn't a high enough degree of efficiency in applications going to the right place in a timely manner. This employee has stepped up to be more or less the traffic cop to make sure things are directed properly and followed up on properly. And I think we're finally at a point where we're correcting those deficiencies we've had over the years. I mean,
But it's an $8,000 correction, Mr. Tobin.
Yeah, I think worth every dime of that correction.
But,
Why can't we have one engineer and it'd be easier?
I'd like to remind the council that when we voted on the budget for the planning board secretary and the zoning board secretary, we cut those numbers to partially fund this. So it's not a full 8,000 cost. It is more like half of that.
But shouldn't the zoning officer be making this determination, Mr. Tova? That's what I don't understand. Why do we have to create a new $8,000 position when we have a zoning officer that's supposed to make the determination of these applications?
Just to clarify, the way it was previously done, as you have brought up, was done that way for years, where the engineer got the first look and decided where to go. Now we are currently having that zoning officer take that first look and direct it to where it has to go. But his job pretty much ends there. We need to have somebody in a position to make sure those are being followed up on and we're getting timely responses and escrows are being refunded in a timely manner. And, this liaison person is there to accomplish just that.
Yeah, and I want to say, since we've been doing it, the responses have been much better to the residents. When I met with the department meetings with Mr. Tovo, it was decided that we really needed a person who could bridge both the construction department and the planning and zoning. That way, one person, they back each other up to a certain extent. And that way, if one is out on vacation, especially planning and zoning, this person, planning and zoning liaison, can pick up some of the slack. So it has been working much better with this new position for our residents.
Make a motion for the 8,000. May I have a second?
Second.
We'll do roll call here.
Councilman Casio,
No.
Councilman DeSena,
No.
Councilwoman Morgan,
Yes.
Councilman Sears,
Yes.
Council President Feeney.
Yes. Building plumbing inspector, 16,500. I'll make a motion. May I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Mr. Tovo, his salary, if his salary was $35 an hour for 10 hours, we're now paying him $165 an hour?
Well, 10 hours can vary. That's just an average. Actually, his run rate was over the years a little more than we were budgeting for. So he's agreed to take a salaried position rather than tracking his time because it does vary so much. So the department head thought that was a good idea, and I concurred.
But
What
okay.
page?
Well,
Mr. Tillman,
as
do
I
you know
said,
what
the hours
page
tend
that's
to
on?
vary.
Okay. All right.
You're saying that we're getting.
It's on page 24, Stacy.
I'm sorry, say 24?
Page 24.
Okay. I'll make a motion for the 16.5. May I have a second, please?
Second it.
Okay, all in favor?
No.
4 and 1. CCO inspector, 12,688. I'll make a motion. May I have a second, please?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
5. Okay. Public police records clerk, 42,630. I'll make a motion. May I believe Chief Skinner spoke to this previously. May I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor? 1, 2, 3.
Aye.
Tom?
Yeah, so,
Okay. 5, sorry. Special officers, $25 an hour. I'll make a motion. May I have a second,
Second.
please? Okay.
so,
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, 5, thank you. Crossing guards, $16 to $19 per hour. I'll make a motion. May I have a second? Tom,
Second.
Mike to second, or Tom to second? All in favor? Steve, was that up or no?
Steve?
Yep, you got it. You had it. You had it.
Chief of Police, 199,000. I'll make a motion. May I have a second, please?
second,
All in favor?
Nay.
Okay, 4 and 1. Fire official, 8,500. I'll make a motion. May I have a second, please?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nay.
Okay, 4 and 1. Fire inspector, 4,500. I'll make a motion. May I have a second?
No, second.
Okay, all in favor?
Nay. Nay.
4 and 1. Fire inspector, 4,500. I'll make a motion. May I have a second?
second,
All in favor?
Nay.
Prosecutor, 7,137. I'll make a motion.
second,
Okay. All in favor?
Yay.
DMF is this superintendent or supervisor?
Superintendent.
Superintendent, 88,000.
Can we table this and Rice in, please?
And Mr. Tovo, do you have anything here also?
Same topic as last year. Right now, he is the acting superintendent and currently the foreman. So that dollar amount reflects what he currently makes with his overtime and his foreman stipend. So he's going to lose his overtime and lose his foreman stipend if he's promoted to superintendent.
Okay, the only thing is I did ask everybody who they wanted to have Rice last time to be, prepared for this meeting. So I just want to.
Well, we have to Rice too anyway, so we can Rice all 4. I asked to Rice every single person, Mrs. Feeney.
Actually, no. Actually, last week I said, would anybody like to Rice anybody? And I had no response from anybody on the council, and I asked twice.
We asked to Rice everybody.
We
No.
asked Rice. We did, Ms. Feeney. Look back on the record.
I'm sorry, I do have the record. I can actually play the video and I could show you, Councilman Cassio, where I said, Councilman Cassio, would you like to Rice anybody? And you said, no, not at this time.
Sure.
You know what? Sue, can you put that on the next meeting's agenda and I'll bring the video so everybody could see?
We don't need to be that way.
Yes, I would like to Rice
I would
everyone.
just like to make, no, I asked specifically, would you like to Rice anybody?
I'd like to Rice the next 3 employees.
Rice, Mr. Lawler.
Again, I did ask at the previous meeting, would any council member like to have any employee Rice?
And I changed my mind.
We are going to have the salaries conversation at the next meeting. I did not receive an answer. So I just want to make that very clear.
You win the award.
Ken, do they have to take a vote?
Thank you. I
call the
will
roll.
be more than happy to have Mr. Lord if that's what you'd like. Please.
I will say this.
Time out. Mr. Powell's talking.
Okay, so basically, and I've always said this, the council acts as a whole body. One person doesn't control putting things in closed and stuff like that. You have to have a majority to do things. So if you want to put something in closed and have a Rice notice, it should be a vote of the council. And it should be a simple majority.
and they'll do it.
Who would you like to have riced? Who's the request for? Mr. Lawler?
Yes.
Can we
Who
stick with
else?
titles?
Yeah, let's stick with titles.
Okay.
Good
Who
point.
would you
Mr.
like to have riced?
Tovo.
The next three people.
DMS,
Zoning code.
zoning, and code enforcement.
Mr. Power, what's the procedure?
You need three. You should take a vote on putting out the rice notices because you're saying that you want to discuss the terms of employment in closed. So you have to take a vote for that.
Well, they have to determine if they want to discuss it in closed, correct? Mr. Pollard, we don't.
Yeah, that's right. Well, no. Well, first, there's two things. First
Yeah,
of
make the
all,
offer.
Yeah,
you're not discussing anybody right now, so that's nothing. Okay.
correct.
Rice notice. Just so you understand this thing about the rice notice, because I've seen there's been some discussion about this. So the basic rice notice, the doctrine of the rice notice, came out of a Board of Education case where people's terms of employment, et cetera, were discussed in closed session under a closed session resolution. But no notice was given to any of the people who they were discussing. So the requirement is if you want to discuss in closed session under rice, you need to give them a notice, okay? And they can say, okay, that's all right with me, or they can say, no, I want you to discuss it in public, all right? Now, there's another component here, and that's our personnel manual. So our personnel manual, actually, this is important. The personnel manual does say that discussions by the governing body of any public body in the township concerning appointment, termination, terms and conditions of employment, performance, evaluation, promotion of discipline of any current or prospective officer or employee shall be in closed session unless the individual requests in writing that the discussion be held in open session. Okay, and then it goes on. So let's just figure this one out a little bit. It seems to me that if you're just doing a straight increase by position of percentage, that's something you could talk about in public. But I think if you're going to start talking about people, I think there is a requirement that under our employee manual, not under rice, that it has to be enclosed. However, because it goes into closed, then they do get the rice notice. Okay? I know it's a little bit convoluted, but you got to put in the personnel manual because that guarantees to everybody that they can have that all things are being discussed in private. So basically, I think if you're going to discuss people more than just the 1.5% raise, I think it has to be enclosed and you have to give them a rice notice. Was that
As the person we're talking about, correct?
Is that all right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so my question to Mr. Tovo is the code enforcement is now a new, this is a newly, Mr. Power, I don't know how to go.
Careful.
How do we write somebody who hasn't been in the position?
No, it says perspective. Rice
Okay.
notice, it's perspective.
I don't quite understand the question.
Yeah, that's okay.
It covers.
Are there any questions?
It covers any current or prospective officer or employee.
Are there any questions that Mr. Tovo can answer without writing one of these employees?
You know, the difficulty is if you're going to start talking about, things like terms and conditions of employment. That's a pretty broad term. So it's very, it's very hard. Performance evaluation, that's clear. Promotion, discipline, those are easy. But the terms and conditions of employment is pretty broad. I mean, it covers a lot of things. It can even cover some of the things that are specifically put out there.
And I would agree with Mr. Pollard. I think out of an abundance of caution and protection of our personnel, we should just rice them and table the item.
Okay. All right, so can you put that together or,
Yep.
Stacey, may I make a comment?
sure.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Just out of curiosity, I polled the mayors of the Mayors Association that I'm in, which is 10 of us in the surrounding areas. None of their governing bodies issue rice notices as part of their budget processes. If they have an issue with an employee, they deal with it when it comes up and not save it for the budget. So I would ask in the future, please do that, because if you have issues with these people, we shouldn't wait for the budget. And yet it seems like we only do this at budget time. So if you have an issue, please let Mr. Tovo or myself know, because we can address it more frequently and much sooner than just once a year.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.
Okay. So the next one is court admin at $20,423.
So, Mrs. Feeney, just to be clear, we're going to rice Mrs. Witkowski. Oh, sorry.
Just the
Clerk?
petitions,
No,
Mike.
okay, it's all, you'll get you're gonna get a confirmation email, so let's just wait
I
until
want to
then.
make
Let's
sure.
not
I thought we
do
had to
that
vote on
out
it.
loud.
No,
so-
no, yeah, I
Nobody
went
gets
through,
in
I went through the
trouble.
whole thing.
Right?
Do we have
Nobody
to-
gets
do we
in
have to-
trouble.
Do we have to take a vote on ricing them?
No,
No,
we're not going to do it because of I was looking at the employee manual. Under Rice, you
Okay,
would.
you said we had to vote. That's why I'm asking.
And then he said after
That's
that we
why I
did it.
went through the thing, because I just opened the personnel manual.
Okay.
Under Rice, it would be different because Rice deals with it differently, but the employee manual guarantees a different right. So
Okay.
we're actually using the same notice form, but for two different reasons.
All right, court admin, $20,423. I'll make a motion. May I have a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, 5. Okay, judge, 11,333. I'll make a motion. May I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Violations clerk, 22,557. I'll make a motion. May I have a second?
Second.
Second.
Public defender, $200 per session, no change from last year. I'll make a motion. May I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 QPA, 400 monthly. I'll make a motion. May I have a second? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Recreation superintendent, 20,000. I'll make a motion. May I have a second,
Second.
please?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Department of Law, 76,445, standard 1.5%. I'll make a motion. May I have a second?
Second.
Oh, okay, 4. Do I have 5 here? Okay, 5, thank you.
Aye.
Last
Aye.
I'm sorry?
He said aye.
Oh, we said aye.
Oh, you're being a
Aye.
pirate.
Okay, sorry. Summer Rec Director, 17,876. I'll make a motion. May I have a second?
Second. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so we have 4 open: DMF Superintendent, Zoning Officer, Code Enforcement, and Town Clerk. And then Sue, when's the next meeting? Would that be Monday? Or can we get sooner? What's the time period, Mr. Power, on the Rice notice?
Reasonable notice. So, I mean, when are you going to have your next meeting? A week is certainly plenty of time. I
So
mean,
Monday?
that's
What's
plenty.
Monday? Monday is
more than
the,
enough. More than enough.
okay. Or do we have enough time to do Thursday, Sue?
If I do it tomorrow, yeah, we should be able to. As long
Is
as
that
I can see those people, as long as they're in, yes.
Okay, hold on, wait. So what's
Sue.
everybody's, what do we have on Thursday? Anything?
Who's
in the-
calling me? Wait, somebody's calling me. Who's calling me?
I am. So do we have court that night?
I think it's going to be postponed because of Mrs. Lucini being out.
Okay, just wanted to check.
I understand it's been changed. So
Okay,
yes, it
very
is
well.
open.
Okay, now I'm polling the council. Would everybody be fine for Thursday at 7?
Yes.
Yes.
So you get 7.
Yes, I'm okay.
Okay,
All in
Mr.
favor?
Mayor? Sorry. Go ahead.
All in favor? Yes.
Okay, all in favor, aye, aye. Okay, Mr. Mayor, you're good for Thursday at 7?
I am, thank you.
Okay, Mr. Tovo?
I am.
Mr. Power, your
No,
attendance is
No, I
required.
am not. I'm not attending.
Oh, yes, you are.
I can't. I won't be. I have a previous engagement which I cannot change.
If you really want him here, then do Monday.
Yeah, I
Be
guess,
insistent in being there. That's,
yeah, Monday. How about Monday? What about Monday for everybody else? How about council on Monday?
Monday
Okay.
works.
Okay, 7
Are we
o'clock.
still good at 7?
Sure.
Okay, we'll have to do 7:30 on Monday. Oh, shoot. What? Shoot.
What time, Stacy? What's good for you?
I know, I'm just looking. I know, I'm just looking.
Bob, while Stacy's looking, do we have enough at this point to turn the budget over to LVH? And then just make small changes if anything comes up at the last meeting?
Yes, sir, we do.
All right, good, because it's just
We can
getting.
get going.
Mhm.
Can I ask that we also check availability for Thursday so we can do an intro?
Yeah,
Following Thursday?
yeah, the 27th.
Hold on.
I don't have anything. I don't have that there's zoning or planning.
Yeah, it would be a court night if anything.
Open.
That's as long as they can get it turned around.
That
See, yeah, 27th, I don't see anything on.
you don't need me, right, Stacy? Because I can't make it the 27th.
No, the introduction,
I don't think you need me for
no.
that.
no.
And that
We
should be a
don't need
1,
it.
2, 3 meeting.
What about Tuesday, the 25th, Sue? I don't think I can do Monday.
All right, it looks open. I don't see anything on the calendar here. I would just have to look at the calendar upstairs. I don't believe there's anything.
I'm not
There's
sure.
nothing on the calendar.
What
One
time?
second, I'm not sure the LVH will have enough time if we do Tuesday.
No. I'm talking Tuesday for the additional for
Oh,
rice, for the.
I'm sorry, I misunderstood.
No, it's okay. Don't be sorry.
I'm just
I'm
checking.
gonna say it's open, Stacy, but I can go upstairs and check as soon before I leave and send out an email if it's
Fine.
different.
I can't do Monday. So,
Okay.
does 7 o'clock on Tuesday work for the rest of the council?
7:30 on Tuesday.
Sure.
Okay, fine. 7:30 is fine. Is that good with the rest of the council?
I'm just checking.
Yeah.
Okay.
It works for me.
Okay, good. Mr. Mayor,
I'm fine with it, thank you.
Mr. Tovo, Tuesday's good for you?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Poller?
Whoa. Oh, now you're including me? You said the cap. Now, what date are you talking about now?
Tuesday, the 25th.
No, I can't do it the 25th. No.
But you can do Monday?
Monday I could do. I already put it in my calendar. You said
You said
Monday.
you couldn't do Monday.
No, I can't do Monday.
You can't do it, okay.
All right, I might be late to the meeting on Monday, but I'll be here Monday.
What time are you making the meeting for?
7:30.
7:30, but I might not be here till 8 o'clock.
Mrs. Morgan can run it.
Yeah, it's fine. Or let's do 7, if we do 7:45, I can be here.
Well, should the meeting last very long? Do you want to start with 8?
Yeah, if we could do, I don't think it'll last very long. So would it be okay if we did 8?
I'm okay with
Okay.
Mike, you okay with 8?
No
Okay,
worries.
so let's do 8 o'clock on Monday.
24th. Okay.
And then you wanted me to,
For Thursday,
Thursday?
yeah.
And that's only if we can get an introduction from LVH, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so and what time do we want to do that? 7:30?
I'm good with 7, or is 7 o'clock on Thursday good, Mike, or do you have something?
I'm good for 7 o'clock.
All right, is everybody else okay with 7?
the 27th at 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can do that.
Yes.
Steve, you're good with 7?
I'm fine. Not a
Okay.
problem. We're good.
Tom?
I'm good.
Okay. Mr. Tovo?
We're good.
Yes, I'm good.
Mr. Mayor?
We're good.
And that's just for introduction.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I will, and unless something is different on the calendar upstairs, we should be good to go. Wait, no, yeah, sorry.
Oh, God, no.
Nope, we're good.
Motion to adjourn, Mrs. Sheedy.
Quickly.
I agree. Before somebody changes their mind about the date, yes. So I'm going to have Sue send out the reminder for Monday tomorrow. So just in case.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Yeah.
All 5 fingers.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good day.
Thank you.
Good night.